Eight score and 20 minutes ago, the battle began. The first salvo was fired 160 years ago and 20 minutes. The Civil War was underway. It's time for an updated Gettysburg Address, and I'm here to give it, folks. It's time for another Civil War. I say we rise up, not North versus South, fucking good versus evil. These motherfucking transgender demons has got to go. I got no problem with what you do in your bedroom. If you flaunt that shit in front of my children, I'm gonna whoop your ass. And if you wanna go to a city like San Francisco, y'all can go all to hell. You wanna go to these other liberal cities and do that bullshit, that's fine. But you keep that shit out of our neighborhood. So I'm calling anybody that wants to join, let's do this shit. And I'm not talking about firing guns unless necessary. Don't shoot unless shot upon. But by God, we can stand up with our voices and our votes. There's a hell of a lot more of us than there are of them. That shit ain't normal. Not just that, but the damn fucking black people that act like a bunch of fucking gorillas come over here. If you want to be an African American, take your black ass back over there. I'm not talking about you people that migrated. Some of the best people in the world are people that migrated from the Congo, Nigeria, Kenya. They're Kenyan Americans, Nigerian Americans. There's no such thing as a fucking African American. Africa's a big ass continent. We don't call it Australian Americans. No, straight up bullshit. I'm tired of it. Fucking Camel Toe Harris, the so-called vice president. Oh, she's running to get elected and do their bullshit, whatever she did in California, is putting people in jail, DA, whatever it was. Oh, she was Indian American then. Yeah, she's from India, got a parent from India, and then her dad's fucking from Jamaica. Hell, they ain't no more. So what is she? She never said she was like a Jamaican American. Now she's an African American now because she ain't no more from Africa than I am. Straight up bullshit. She's an Indian Jamaican American. Is she even an American citizen? Indian Jamaican American. Indian Jamaican American. If she's actually a citizen, I don't know if she is or not. Ain't none of my damn business. I don't really care about that shit. Can you imagine her dumb ass cackling like a fucking hen in charge of this country? It terrifies me to think that something's gonna happen to Biden, but he might drop dead today. He may be dead as far as we know. All these people talking about he looks different all the time. Hell yeah, he looks different because he's a shapeshifter. He's possessed is what he is. As I was saying, 8 score and now 23 minutes ago, the Civil War had begun. And today, I proclaim another Civil War is underway, and I just fired the first salvo. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Them fuckers got to go. Fucking Chris Ray, you're a pussy, you know it. I'm tired of you little tiny minority controlling the shit. Where's Joe Biden's defenders? All his 80-something fucking, they fucked up by getting him too many votes. They had to because Trump won in a landslide. Ain't no doubt about it. Kerry Lake, that chick down in Arizona, won. Fucking fake bullshit, rip off, and they know it. And this fucking weak, spineless Republicans won't do anything about it because they're scared of Trump. They know they're going to get exposed. Like, fuck it, we can just get through another election without Trump getting in there. We might be all right. One thing you didn't consider, what if somebody better than Trump arises? Say a young man born in Piedmont, Alabama, a bastard to a single mother, who was partially raised by an African American, a black maid. He lived at 107 Alabama Street in Piedmont, Alabama. Graduated from Piedmont High School after going through a tumultuous 6 years after his mother married an alcoholic. Took him away from his hometown. You know what? He looks on it now and he says it's all joy because you know why? Because he learned to enjoy and appreciate the contributions of the black person, back then it was fucking cool, man. They taught me how to beat. I went to George Hall Middle School in Mobile, Alabama. I remember them guys they'd be going to the store, eat some annihilators. Annihilator? What the hell's an annihilator? Went to the store and it was called Now and Later. But I was sitting out watching them, they'd be beating. And they had a rhythm. That's how I learned to play drums. I learned rhythm by watching those dudes. Now I got a full set of drums in the back of this here Explorer. Just picked them up. You ain't gonna believe how much I paid for them. $100. $100 for a freaking set of drums that the kick pedal alone is worth $100 if you know what you're looking for. Bought. As soon as he said $100, bought. Ain't that right, Job? Bought, sold, bought. Just like our lamestream media bought and paid for. But what, BlackRock, 6 people, 6 companies on it, straight up bullshit. They're terrified now. You know why? Because of Elon Musk. He set Twitter world free. And he's being as good as he can and as open as he can. If somebody says some straight up outlandish bullshit, well, you got a right to say that. You got a right to say anything you want as long as you ain't hurting nobody or threatening nobody. Last time I checked, the Second Amendment was there to back up the First. I pray thee therefore we don't have to use it to overthrow some motherfuckers. But if it comes to that, so let it be written. So let it be done. Joe Biden, step down, bitch. Take camel toe with you. You better do something. I declare war on y'all. You ain't seen the insurrection till you see the pissed off people that from all over this country. I'm not just talking about Southeast, man. All over. The people in Pennsylvania is pissed. People in Maryland is pissed. There's people all over the place that are pissed. This ain't right, man. This is bullshit. I'm starting to realize why the hell they all want to get Trump. You know why? Because he's going to expose them. Why you think when he got impeached over a fucking phone call to Ukraine? What do you think that was all about? Fucking Barack Obama started that bullshit when they screwed around with the Ukraine back in 2014. They set this shit in motion then. Joe Biden's over there wheeling and dealing like a fucking mafia guy. He sounded even surprised when he blackmailed them. They fell for it. Told them if they don't fire Poroshenko, whatever he is, that fire that prosecutor, you're not getting the $1 billion. So he held $1 billion over their head. What'd he get? He got $5 million out of that deal, at least. So now we're sending all kind of fucking money over there, blowing shit up, and we should be spending that money to rebuild every VA hospital that needs it in the United States, starting with that shithole of a complex in Washington, D.C. Not the people. Some of the best people I've ever had care for me. That fucking complex is absolutely disgusting. It's an absolutely sickening that the nation's capital will have the worst fucking VA facility in the entire country. Why can't they just come up with money for that shit? They just come up with $1 billion here, $1 billion there. Hell, you imagine the roads we'd have if they spent all that money on fixing our damn roads? Hell, I drive for Uber out in Denver, Colorado, and I've been out there about 10 years ago, and I was amazed at how nice the roads were. You know why? Because they were getting money from marijuana industry, because that shit was new, so they was like, damn, they were pumping money in there. Shit was working. Now, 10 years later, hell, I'm dodging potholes as quick as I am keep trying to run over dumbasses walking in front of me. Especially up at like Boulder, a place like that. Fuckers, people walking think they own the damn road. Hell, dude, you just can't. I can't see everything, dude. You can see the wide open when you're walking. Hell, I got stuff going on here. Phone ding-ling. Fucking Uber's like binging you every minute. Hey, pick this up, dude. Distractions everywhere. It's a wonder if people ain't run over every day. As I was saying, Joe, you got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Jesse motherfucking Jackson's got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, Al Sharpton, you a fucking charlatan, you motherfucker. I like fat Al Sharpton better anyway. Like a damn dried up California raisin. Anytime something comes, why don't he come and protest when a white kid gets shot? Or a Mexican kid? It's always a fucking black guy. It's because it's a race baiter, all he is. I don't care what color your skin is. But the more you keep your black people down in the press, the worse they're gonna get, because they get more and more dependent I think they can't do anything. You teach them they can't do nothing. Then you kill all their babies. Hell, if y'all hadn't been murdering all your babies via abortion, you might be a bigger majority over the Mexicans and the Hispanics. They're letting just flood through the border. You know why they're doing that shit? To destabilize the whole thing. Now they got the blacks and the browns going at each other. Why? Because they just let them in here. Y'all come on in here. We're gonna give you some money. Hell, they never just hand out money to me. Just because I went across state lines, they just hand me money. Hell, I had to work for most everything I ever got. Most people I know did too. When's the last time you just went down and throwing out money to fucking American citizens? I'll tell you this about immigration. Some of the best people I've ever met are immigrants from other countries. Why? Because they know how special this place is. They know what kind of shithole they come from. You imagine walking 2 miles to go get some clean water just to simply drink, let alone think you got to bathe and all that shit. I mean, we just turn on water like it's gonna always just be there. Ain't nothing to it. We're so freaking spoiled here. Eight score and 31 minutes ago, the first salvo was fired. Hey, how you doing? Hey y'all, be fucking blowing at me. I'll sit here all damn day. You wanna go? Going around, bitch. After she gets out, well, that really tore me up, you know, all that got, woo. How much she blew her horn at me. Idiot. And everything, I may be having a heart attack in here or a medical emergency. Well, given the moan Gettysburg Address. I see you, America. Jefferson Scott Hightower, 2024. Candidate for President of the United States. If you think I'm gonna run around and fucking try to jump through all these hoops and you gotta get that straight up bullshit. Like check out that shit rig where you gotta do this, you gotta qualify. I ain't seen nothing like that in the Constitution. To be over 35, supposed to be born here. What else is there? What else is there? I think I'm qualified quite highly. 8-year decorated U.S. Air Force veteran, served 8 years under President Reagan. When he got out, the writing was on the wall. The shit hit the fan because Bush was throwing it up there. That's when our country died. The globalist George Bush took over. He was the one that started the downfall. Some bits couldn't remember where he was when Kennedy was shot. Like I wasn't about 2 years old, I almost remembered it. George Bush, the elder, was in fucking Dallas, Texas. When Kennedy got killed because he was a part of the planning operation. Tell you some shit. Why? Because I've been doing it. Been undercover a little bit. People think, oh hell, he's fucking crazy. He's manic. He just went off on a trip. It's funny, every time I always come back. Sit at home with mother and just chill for a while and relax. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, I just disappeared. You can't figure they thought I just went crazy all of a sudden. You're crazy, then just got his mind back, come back. I ain't got a clue what the fuck I was doing. What was you doing? Know your damn business. I was learning for one. If I hadn't have done that shit, I'd have been screwed when my mother died last year. My cousin, Chris Wheeler, told me don't come back to the house that I was living in for like, what, 9 years, 8 years. Taking care of my mother. That's right. Somehow $13,000 magically disappeared from an account that I was a beneficiary of. Just a few short months before my mother died. I wonder where that money went. I know exactly where it went. It went into an account with my mother's name and Chris Wheeler's name on it. Now, how it got there, I don't know what happened to it after that. Mother might have spent it on what? I don't know. I have no idea. I was out of the country. They wouldn't communicate with me. Who knows? I just know what happened. It disappeared. January the 10th or thereabouts. Transferred from my mother's account that I was a beneficiary on into an an account that my mother and Chris Wheeler was on, acting as her power of attorney. That's right. Where did that money go? I will give her credit though. Chris Wheeler sent me $300 when I was trying to get back out to Denver so I could work. I said, you fund me or whatever. I started one of those. Didn't have hardly anything in it. Next thing I know, $300 hit up. Well, Chris Wheeler, wasn't that nice of her? Sent me $300. I do appreciate that because it helped. And now I'm doing a whole lot better. But that's still in my book about $12,700 short. She thinks it's all over. It ain't all over. I ain't forgetting that shit. Now I just let it go emotionally to get on with my life and just put it behind me. But I'm about ready for a fight. Sorry to hear about Mr. Wheeler dying. Not really. He needed to escape. Her dumbass. Anyway, I'm rambling on here enough. What is it? 8 score and now 35 minutes ago, the first shot was fired. Civil War. Y'all should do a little study on the Civil War. I think it's just, you've been lied to. It wasn't about just freeing the slaves. Do a little checking out, see who the first slaves were that come over here. Might find they were from a little country called Ireland. Why do you think they call that country Ireland? Because of ire. Those people were hated and maligned. They were sold into slavery. I think the first black slave that was sold to America was sold by a black guy, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a history buff, but I do have a friend that knows basically everything in the world, and he briefs me on some things. But I digress. I'm living a charmed life now. No, it's not any kind of charm like fucking devil shit and witchcraft. I just found myself in a flow. I'm just going with it. I'd like to say one other thing before I close this out. I've got less than 3 minutes when it will be 8 score and 40 minutes. That's the first shot was fired in the Civil War. Do a little checking. You may find out that the Civil War had a little more to do with the industrial North wanting to take over the agricultural South. Profitability. We was growing all the food and stuff down south. They couldn't feed themselves up north in them cold winters. They somehow had to get control. I got no problem with Mr. Lincoln. One of my all-time favorites. Mr. Trump, you were screwed, sir. You rightfully have 4 more years. I'd be honored to be your vice presidential nominee. If you'll consider me, I won't run against you for president. I'll just saddle up with you, go 4 years as your VP, and then I'll take over 2028. So by that time, we'll have this ship running so smooth, they'll be begging for me to do it. As my mother said, they'll be begging you. I'd gladly give 12 more years my country. He's 62 this year. That put me around 74, 75 years old. I think I could call it a life then. Wake up, America! Earl Pitts. Remember that dude, Earl Pitts? He's still kicking it. Earl, you still kicking it? I don't hear you out in Colorado because I don't really listen to the radio anymore. Wake up, America! I have no clue what he looked like, but I heard that voice. All of America did. Wake up, America. We got about a minute left, and I'd like to wish you all a happy July the 1st. 160 years ago today, at about 40 minutes ago, hence the 8 score and 40 minutes ago, the first shot was fired. There's a Battlefield Motel. Let me check in there and see if they got any room for the night. If not, just getting on down the road. In the words of my friend Paul Harvey, good day. I'll see ya, America.